Today is the day that you finally master how to curl your hair with a flat iron and make those curls last all day. I used to be a hairstylist and I did flat iron curls on tons of clients with many different hair types. I had all kinds of clients tell me that curls don't last in their hair, that it's impossible to do flat iron curls on their hair type, and I proved them all wrong. And today I'm going to show you how. You want to start off with clean-ish hair. Mine was washed yesterday. It's extremely important to note that if you've already heat styled your hair in a different way with a flat iron or a curling iron, it will be nearly impossible to style it again differently. There are bonds in your hair that once you've set them with a hot tool, you can't really undo it until you wash your hair. I'm sure you've heard it a million times, but maybe you're not doing it every time, and that is to use a heat protector product. I personally love a hair oil that's lightweight. It makes my hair softer, shinier, and also protects from the heat styling that I'm going to do. Whenever you're working with a hair oil, you want to put it between your hands, start at your ends, and work your way up. Your ends of your hair are where it's the driest, and your roots are where your natural oil is produced. So your ends are where you really need that hydration, and then whatever's left on your hands you can use to just kind of pat down any flyaways, but you don't really need much oil up at the top. Next, you want to section away at least half, but maybe even more of your hair up and out of the way. Make sure you're tangle free before you get started. I never set my flat iron higher than 380. You don't need more heat than that and you're going to damage your hair. Where most people go wrong with flat iron curls is that they take way too big of a section. You want something nice and thin. You can use a comb if you want to get fancy. I just use my fingers. I like to style the curls in the front away from my face. So you're going to take your thin section, place your flat iron near the top, clamp it down, give it a twist, and then pull it all the way through to the end. I use my fingers to help shape the curl, but otherwise don't touch it. You're just going to let it cool. Take your next section. I like to take my sections more up and down vertical rather than horizontal and flat. I just prefer the shape of the curl this way. It's all your preference. You can also come from the bottom instead of on top. One way or the other will probably be more comfortable for you. I'll show you it can be done both ways. Turn your flat iron. Make sure that tail's sticking out and pull it all the way to the end. I find it more comfortable from the top, so I'm going to continue like that. Same thing over here. Take a tall, skinny section, nice and thin. Clamp it at the top, give it a twist so the tail comes back out, and pull it all the way to the end. The science behind this is the same science as curling a ribbon with scissors. What science is that? I have no idea. The nice thing about a flat iron curl is that it smooths out any natural wave or frizz you have in your hair along the way. So you end up with a much smoother curl than you might depending on what your natural hair texture is compared to using a curling iron or a curling wand. It's also much easier to curl your hair with a flat iron if your hair is very short in length and can't quite wrap around a curling iron's barrel. If it's not curling, try moving a little bit slower or taking an even thinner section before you turn up the temperature on your iron. You also may not be doing a full rotation. You want to make sure that tail comes back to where you started. One side of your head will for sure come easier to you than the other, depending on whether you're right or left-handed, but it'll all look fine in the end. You're probably looking at these and thinking those curls are so tight, I don't want tight ringlets like that. Me neither. The reason I said not to touch them is because once your hair has fully cooled, that's when those bonds have set and your hair is going to hold that shape. If you brush through and loosen those curls right away, they're going to set in that loosened curl you've created and not be able to hold their shape at all. This is a huge reason why lots of people think that curls don't last in their hair. Let them set tight and then loosen them out. It's totally fine to brush them out, but you want to wait until those curls are completely cool to the touch and you know that shape is set. And then you can go ahead and loosen those curls either with your fingers or with a hairbrush. I like to put a little more oil in my hands for this part just to keep it from getting frizzy. At this point, you can set with hairspray if you want to. I never do. I find that they last all day just doing this technique. If you're still having trouble, leave a comment and I'll help you troubleshoot what's going on. I hope you found this tutorial helpful, and if you enjoyed this video, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel and leave a comment letting me know what sort of videos you'd like to see in the future. See you later!